Welcome everybody. Welcome to Old McDonald Ventures. My name's Jim, and tonight I'm going to attempt to tie a jig. Now, with full disclosures, I've only been tying for about 2.5, 3 weeks. So I'll probably take a little bit of slack from a handful of comments and stuff, but I think it's important to take on challenges, and that's how we get better at things. So with all that being said, let's kind of get started. So the very first thing you'll notice is I have a number 4 bronze Aberdeen hook here in the vise. I'm going to be using a barbell. Shade is green. We're going to kind of give the eyes that shad kind of look to it. Okay, I'm going to be using a grayish 140D thread, and we're going to be using a medium Chanel, both white, and then we're going to give this jig a black belly. So what we're trying to represent here, so to speak, is probably a typical shad that you would find in most lakes, especially here in Indiana. So first thing we want to do is we want to try to stay about a solid 1/8 of an inch from the top of the eye of the hook to where we start our wrapping our eyes. And the reason for that is if you choose to do a snell knot on this, it's going to give you plenty of room to do that, and at the same time it's there for the mechanics of this jig. And what I mean by that is I've tested this jig in the water, and basically it's going to allow the jig to swim at a plane angle, so it's going to keep it in the strike zone a lot longer. And when you match this with a number 5 split shot, 12 to 14 inches, I like the 14 inches because it just gives that jig a little bit more plane, tends to keep it in that strike zone a little bit longer. Now number 5 works great in 10 foot or more depth. If you're in that 10 foot and under, say 5 foot of water, you might want to reduce your split shot down to a number 7. So let's trim this off here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to attach our barbell eyes. Now I tie my barbell eyes up on top, and the reason for that is I noticed when I was testing these, by putting the eyes underneath the hook, it tended to cause the jig to be a little bit more unlevel, a little bit more unstable as it was moving through the water, and I'm not sure why. But when I changed it and put the eyes on top, it seemed to be more fluent down through the water. So we start off with the eye just kind of at an angle here. We put about 2 wraps on there, and then we're going to turn that eye and we're going to wrap back the other way. Now I know my fat fingers are kind of in your way. And then what we're going to do is we're going to give this a couple circle wraps right here and kind of lock that eye down as best we can for right now. Now the eye is, obviously still a little loose right now. You'll have to kind of work around that. But as we tie this all in together, that's going to become a lot more stationary. So then what I like to do is I like to give this right here in the eye well. I want to start wrapping a few times. Now if you're using a thicker thread, you probably don't have to wrap quite as much as what I do, but I do like the thinner thread. It tends to get into that well real well. And then we're gonna be using hair that kind of resembles that flash, a little bit of blue tint to it. And what you want to do is you want to trim that so that all these hairs here are even, and then you really want to work this into the well of that eye, and that's where you want to start this. And you know, be kind of loose so that you can make your adjustments, and then start wrapping and apply your pressure to it to really lock this in. And once I get this all locked in, I automatically wrap the eyes again and incorporate that as part of the body frame now. And one of the things that I like to do right here is I want to put a whip finish in there, so that I can kind of get this all locked together a little bit. About 4 of them. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of this Woods and Water glue here, hard as nails, and right up here in that well in the eyes, I'm going to kind of seal that right there. And that kind of just locks that in right there. Now I like to give, I think action, anything that's got movement in it, is definitely going to attract the fish's attention. So I'm going to put some rubber legs into this. And again, you want to tuck this right up into your well. And we're using a blue and a white. Pull them legs back over. This is where you got to adjust a little bit. There we go. And then we'll add just a little bit of crystal flash to this. This black and silver works really well. We don't need a whole lot, because the way the jig swims, it really gives the fish the opportunity. So this is usually probably handful strands here. I'll count them here for you, what I'm using on this particular one. So we've got 4 strands that we're going to be putting in here. And again, we're starting it in the well of the eye. And then bringing it back. Again, at this point, I'm going to incorporate the eyes again with handful wraps. And then we want to start building the nose. So as I do this, I'm kind of filling that up to match my body now. And you'll notice that eye's gotten a lot more secure. So from there, I like to put another couple of ties in there with our whip finish. Just kind of helps. There's 3. Kind of helps secure all that real good right there. And what I want to do is, so this This black belly is going to go on next. And basically what I want to do is I want to measure so that this black belly ends right here at my eyes. Okay, so when it's tied in, it just looks like a solid belly right here. Okay. Now we're just going to tie that in right there. And we'll check it. So we're a little long. Oops, pulled that one out. Sorry, camera's lights are kind of in my eyes there. Now let's check it. And I like that. Okay. So now we have this right here. This is going to end up being our belly. And then I'm going to take a regular medium white, and we're going to bring it right back to the end of where this black one is. And we're going to tie him in there real good. And again, I'm going to bring it forward through my eyes and in the nose of the well a few times. There we go. And we just want to wrap this up there real nice and snug. Just like so. And then we're going to tie him in. So to get that out of the way. Not in front of you folks. Trim this out. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull that belly now over our eyes. We're going to bring the wrap across the eye this way. I like to try to snug it as much as I can. And this is where filling in that void on your nose piece really comes into play. Tie that up real good. Then what we're going to do is we're going to whip finish this in. About 6 times. And we're going to trim this off. What we'll do is we'll take our jig. Now we're going to just trim everything up so it's nice and clean. And there you have it, guys. Pretty cool. We'll take this glue. Now we're really gonna just build it up here on our nose. Now, obviously, it can be the prettiest jig in the world. The true test is when we take it out and we put it on the water, and the fish tell us whether or not we did a good job. And it catches a bunch of crappie. So there you go. I call this my green-eyed shad, and hopefully you know, we'll catch a lot of fish with it, and we'll bring you guys along when we're out there, and hopefully we can get some video of it working in the water, and the fish we catch. So if you got any questions or any comments, feel free to leave them. I'll be looking for those and trying to get back with them. You got any criticism? If you think there's things that I could do better than what I'm doing, I learned how to do this all by myself, just experimenting one day, and I was taking it out to my pond and seeing how it flowed, and how it worked underwater, and just kind of kept improving on it until I came up with this. So I hope you guys enjoy, and hopefully maybe you can tie one up and you can catch a lot of fish. So have a great evening. Tight lines to all the fishermen, and we'll see you next time, guys. Till then, adios.